everyone, and welcome to our podcast, Red, Right, and True, where we tell you all the truth all the time. And I'm going to introduce you to our podcast panel. We have Joe Curry,
Good evening. Thank you for joining us. Hope everybody's well.
our guest, Lou Prats,
Hey, how's everyone doing?
of course, Patriot Box,
Hello, everyone.
and joining us will be Mark White in a minute. There he is on the screen. Say hi, Mark.
Good evening, everybody.
Hey, Mark. How you
Hey,
doing,
Mark.
buddy?
Hey, Mark.
For those of you who don't know Mark, Mark is the former bass player from the band The Spin Doctors.
And he is an ultra-conservative, and
All-around good guy.
We've been friends for over 7 years now, and he has a Facebook page that is one of my favorites to look at. And every podcast he's going to join us, and he picks 4 videos, which we will get to one each segment. So we're going to start off with, of course, the war in Iran. So who wants to take that, and who wants to go first with that? Joe, you want to go
heard
first
something
with
today.
the
Sure.
war in Iran?
So basically, how did the war start? Why did we go to the war? Well, number one, preventing nuclear proliferation. Trump and Netanyahu stated the strikes were necessary to ensure Iran never acquires a nuclear weapon. Now, a lot of rhetoric you're going to see is they're saying, well, they were years away from creating a weapon. You want to know something? And I even stated this on some liberals' page. I go, it's like saying we're years away from having cancer. You're years away of having cancer. Why don't we just take care of it now?
Well, speaking of that, they always talk about, every president always talked about that, they were going to do something about the Iran issue. And I actually found a clip of President Trump in his younger years. I think he looked like he was about in his 40s, early 40s. And he was talking about it back then. So, this has been going on since I was a little girl.
It was going on since, and you mentioned back then, it was going on since 1979. My buddy mentions it like in high school, my Anthony Cumia, and and he was mentioning on his show. I remember I was his friend. We're still friends now, but we used to hang out in 1979. And I remember he was on a payphone a couple of times, and I go, who are you calling? He goes, I'm calling Iran. I want to get this over with. Yeah, it's a lunatic. But anyway, that's how long this has been going on. And one of the things is eliminating imminent threats. They have always been a threat. They have always been
Well,
a
basically,
problem.
they yell, "Death to America."
They're
So
very
that's
vocal
kind of a
with their
clue
threat.
that they hate us, and that if they had this power, they would use it. Again, it's common sense. Lou, what do you think of all this? Like, what do you think about what's going on?
I heard something today. I don't know how true it is, but you know how we're in the war with Israel, right?
Yes.
I heard someone
Our
say
ally.
that Israel told us that if we don't do something about it together, they're going to nuke them.
Well, basically,
So I don't know.
What I heard from Bibi Netanyahu, did I say it right, Patriot
you
Box? Himself is people were saying that Israel is controlling Trump, and Bibi said, "Have you met Trump? No one tells Trump what to do.
No.
So unless he wants to do something, he is not going to do it." So for those that are saying that Israel is leading Trump around, believe me, that is not the case.
I'd like
No,
to
I
jump
don't
in
think so.
here. I'd like to jump in here because basically it's misinformation when you hear that Israel is controlling or Israel set the pace. No, what happened is the United States of America sent all those assets there, and we were going to take care of this. All right, it was going to be done with or without Israel, with or without any of our so-called allies. And what ended up happening is, according to Israeli intelligence, which is probably some of the best in the world, they felt that they were a lot closer to creating, even if it was a small nuke or a dirty bomb, that the risk was imminent and that it made sense to strike early and not take any chances. So Trump, again, with our allies in Israel, they determined, you know what, we're going to do this. It's actually, let's expedite it. Let's do it now. And I'm going to go off on a slight tangent here because one of the things that I've been truly disgusted by is how the Democrats in this country have responded to this whole Iran affair.
Absolutely.
They
Oh,
basically,
God, yeah.
you have people in Iran who are cheering America and holding Trump pictures. You have in L.A. and various big states where you have a big Persian or Iranian population. They're cheering for America, but the Democrats, they're condemning America. All right, and
That is a great point, Patriot Box.
and one of the things that even right down to the fact that, yes, tragically, we've had 6 losses, 6 American lives lost. And, this is what happens in war. Thankfully, it was only 6 so far. War is a dangerous thing, dangerous place. But, I heard that penguin, Chuck Schumer. If you have
I
noticed,
nicknamed him the
Yeah.
penguin.
He does look like a
turning into a
penguin.
penguin before our eyes.
And,
Sorry.
and I believe Chuck Schumer, or the Penguin, was talking about the 6 American lives that were lost. How come when Biden was president and did an early withdrawal from Afghanistan for purely political reasons, when he was told not to do it, 13 Americans and countless others died, that they forgot about? Hillary Clinton with Benghazi, she wasn't worried about that. Again, there's 2 narratives. There's the Democratic narrative, which is everything against Trump, no matter what.
No matter what.
And then there's everything else. So, all right.
Thank you, Patriot Box. If we can get to Asset One, because I want to get Mark White's picks on here before the segment is up. We're going to watch a
It's
video.
almost up already?
And yeah, we're going to have you up, Mark. If you're ready for it, we're going to have you up. So we're going to show the video
I'm ready.
first. While they're getting the video ready, Mark, what's your take on Iran? And if the video
All I do
starts,
is
you
I
can-
just see a bunch of people celebrating. We're leaving that part out, and they are very happy that their little person is gone. So I'm going with that one.
Yes, I agree with you. I agree with you. So, it's just, it seems to me, every time that Democrats are for something, it seems to be against common sense. It seems to be against the American people. And,
Always against Donald Trump.
it's we always get back to this issue that it's Trump derangement syndrome. Absolutely, it's Trump derangement syndrome, because the Iranian people are so happy that they don't have to wear, they're being forced to, under the regime, do something that they chose not to do. If
40
that's your religion and you want to do that, that's different. But these
And
people were forced to do
also,
it.
don't forget that they slaughtered like 30,000 protesters.
Yes.
Right.
And
That's,
Trump asked them not to do that, by the way. He said, stop doing that. And that's another reason why they got
Yep.
going into.
again, you don't hear about the humanitarian aspect, that the Ayatollah, they slaughtered at least
Yeah.
30,000 of their own people. They were
Yes.
running them over with armored cars.
Yes,
all right?
Patriot Box, we're going to show a video, and I want you to hold that thought and get right back to it. So let's go to the
College
Asset
kids
One.
are telling us
Okay.
Trump's State of the Union didn't go so
this is
well.
a
The
good
only
one.
problem? It's tomorrow. Rate Trump's State of the Union speech 1 out of 10. 1's the worst, 10's the best. Negatives. And why? I think we all know a lot of reasons. Yeah. What about the State of the Union last night? 1 to 10.
It was like a 1 or 2. I mean, it was all over the place.
Probably just give me a 0.
Gonna give it a 1.
And why do you say 1?
I don't think he's very articulate.
How did Trump do at the State of the Union?
0. I'll be real, I didn't watch it.
Yeah, I didn't really watch it much. I watched it for a little bit, but turned it off.
The State of the Union last night. How was that 1 to 10?
You know, it was last night. I thought it was tomorrow.
No, you're.
And Mark, I might be wrong about that video, but he hadn't given the speech yet, or?
No, he hadn't given a speech yet. And
So he
that's what
hadn't even
makes-
given the speech yet, and they already hated it because they are
They're
programmed.
dishonest people. They're dishonest people.
They are
That's all there is to it. They're not thinking, they're not being honest, and they're truly delusional. Because
The one
they
said
think
you saw
everybody
it
else is
already.
Stupid. They know they didn't even watch it. They know they didn't see it, but they're just going to sit there and act like they saw it. That is unbelievable.
Yeah, I mean, they follow a script. That's what they do.
They follow a script, and also they follow emotionally. They don't follow logically. They don't do any research. If I see something, I look into it and I go, all right, what's going on here? But they don't. They refuse to discuss it because they're going for emotion. They don't have any facts to back it up, and it's always, oh, you know what I mean. No, I know what you mean. What are you telling me? Well, you know, I don't have to tell you. You can't tell me. is what the problem
Well, the
is.
beauty of the Democratic position and the liberal position is that facts make no difference. Facts don't matter. Emotion is everything. If I think it, if I say it, if someone else said it, and it's anti-Trump, then it's good. Anything that's positive Trump, anything that's positive America, bad.
Yeah, exactly.
And Lou, what do you think about the video that you just saw?
It's typical. It's typical. They say, "Oh, you know the reason," just like you said. There's tons of reasons, but they can't name one. You know, and they said they saw part of it, like what, in a crystal ball? How?
Yeah,
Unbelievable.
yeah, exactly.
So we're going to have another asset in this coming up segment. So stay tuned with us. Don't lose us. And Mark White, I love your video pics, and I look forward to them. And we're going to be talking about different things, all Trump related. And we are live from the America First Warehouse, which is the most patriotic venue in the land.
Yes.
I got my tickets to see Michael Loftus, who's going to be here not this Saturday, but next Saturday. So Patriot Box and I will be here in the audience. And they have all kinds of wonderful functions here, right here at the America First Warehouse. So stay tuned with us, and we will welcome you back in 1 minute.
Most people think they have options when searching for the best deals when they travel. But here's the shocking truth. 100% of the major travel agencies are owned by just two entities, Expedia and Booking Holdings. They claim to offer the lowest rates, but due to the hotel rate parity agreement, they all have the same pricing, limiting genuine competition. When you book through these sites, you act as your own travel agent, but the profits are going to organizations that don't support our patriot values. We cannot allow that to continue. So, we decided to make travel great again by starting a US-based travel membership platform, mypatriottravel.com. We are patriots helping patriots. Together, we can disrupt the travel industry by not spending our hard-earned dollars supporting the radical left. For just $29.99 per month, you gain access to true wholesale rates on travel, saving you on average 35% and up to 65%. Book as often as you like, with no limits. Keep your hard-earned dollars in your pocket and spend them on things you need and want to support. Go to mypatriottravel.com/TAFW and grab your membership today. mypatriottravel.com/TAFW. Making travel great again.
Are you a true American? Then it's time to get connected. Download the America First Media and Television app and stay up to date with real news, bold voices, and live events from the America First Warehouse. From national broadcasts and exclusive shows to comedy nights, concerts, and special events. It's all right at your fingertips. No filters, no spin, just America First. Download the America First Media and Television app today and be part of the movement.
I'm sure you guys remember the platinum single, Justice for All, with Donald Trump and the J6 Prison Choir. Well, get ready for round two. We're coming out with Anthem of the Free with High Res and the J6 Prison Choir. It's coming out now. It's pre-sale until December 19th when it drops. Get yours on all platforms, Google Play, Apple iTunes. Get it. It's going to be hot.
Justice for all, our voices ring. The anthem of the free.
It's me, Joe the Box, the America First Warehouse, most patriotic venue in all the land.
The America First Warehouse, a beacon for all to see, a symbol of unity. For the patriots of America, we stand tall and free. In the America First Warehouse, where our hearts will always be.
Hello and welcome back to Red, Right, and True. We were discussing before we left on how some Democrats have condemned what has gone on with the war. One of the ones that are of utmost concern is New York City Mayor Zoran Mandani, and he said of what was going on, condemnation of the strikes. He labeled the military action a catastrophic escalation in an illegal war of aggression. criticized the bombing of cities and the killing of civilians, arguing that Americans do not want another war regime. Now, here's the deal with Mandami. Mandami, when it comes to killing citizens in a city, he doesn't want it done with bombs or fire. He wants it done with snow because he loves doing that. Loves doing that. Can't do it enough.
But also, he was mourning the death of the dictator. I mean, doesn't that tell you everything you need to know? That
Yeah.
he publicly mourned the death of the dictator that our president took out, and he's condemning Trump for taking him out. So I think that's all you need to know as far as the mayor of New York City.
Can I ask a quick question? He's the mayor, right? Why is he getting involved in national affairs? He should be
Because he's a-
concentrating on the protection and the citizens of the city.
You would think so.
Well, once all the snow melted, he had nothing else to do.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, he wasn't cleaning it, that's for sure.
Basically, he's a person that is going to probably have political aspirations to be the president. And basically,
God forbid.
God forbid.
Never.
But basically, you have AOC, you have Ilham Omar, you have that contingent where he is with it, and you have that far left agenda, and he is part of that far left agenda on that.
And I know that anyone could correct me if I'm not correct here, but the election that took place in Texas, they got rid of Jasmine Crockett.
Yes.
She was voted out, and
Also a
and that
pirate.
other guy,
Yeah.
the other guy who had the sign at the State of the Union
the sign?
address, what was his name?
Oh gosh, I have his name.
But
escapes
you
me
guys
right
know
now.
who he is.
Yeah, I know, the
He
eye
was
patch
voted
guy,
out
right?
too.
Dan
So that's
Crenshaw.
progress.
Thank you, Dan Crenshaw,
Yes,
from the
Dan
booth. Thank
Crenshaw.
you, Booth.
Thank you. But that is progress that,
me, by the way.
maybe people are waking up. And again, Joe Curry and I and Patriot Box, we every show are going to remind you that in the midterms, you've got to get out and vote like your life depends on it, because it does. It does. I never thought Mandami being mayor would affect me, but I'm a retired teacher, and because he's not going to be able to tax the rich, Hochul has so far said no, he's going to raid the rainy day funds and the health benefits of teacher
That's right,
retirement system, which part of me, the union is just so to the left that I'm embarrassed to be part of that union. I was back then, and I am today. And part of me is like, they got exactly what they deserve, but unfortunately, I'm collateral damage.
Yeah,
So,
and it's a shame about the teachers union and teacher unions in a lot of inner cities, because what happens is you're wondering what the key thing about communities in those districts that are not getting a good education. And they always complain, well, they can't get jobs, they can't get because you're not educating them. You're not getting the job done. You have the lowest test scores. And what happens is, why isn't it improved? Because the unions step in. And the unions step in and take ineffective teachers, they put them in the, what's the room they put them in?
the rubber room.
They put them in the rubber room, and they sit there while they're being paid. Test scores, they're not trying to, get test scores higher. So whenever you hear about, African American kids and Latino kids, they can't get a fair shake because they're not getting the proper education that they deserve. And who do you blame on this? You blame the teachers' unions, who juggle statistics, juggle everything around to make it look like they're getting the job done. But you have kids with the lowest reading scores there are, kids that can't. Don't know simple math, but they're just pushing out. And when they get out into the real world, they can't get a job because they don't have the skills that they should have been taught when they were
They
in
can't
school.
even read.
Yeah.
They can't even read. I mean, again,
Some.
not every school in New York City was a bad school. In fact, you had different districts. I taught in District 26, which is in Fresh Meadows, Queens, and that was the best district in the city, one of the best. And then they had some great districts in Manhattan. So again, you had to live in that neighborhood to go to that school. Then they had the charter schools, and they had a couple of them, and they had to get slots for them. But the idea is that the union sold everyone out when they went that left. That's like a communist, basically, that they put in charge, and shame on them. And they're getting the punishment they deserve. Unfortunately, it does affect myself. But that's what you get when you're going to put your money and support behind somebody whose values don't align with Americans.
Right.
And I would like you to key up Asset 2, another one of Mark's picks. But I'm just livid over every time I see his face, Mandami. I don't know if I'm even
Mandami.
saying his name correctly.
Mundummy.
Mandami. I am so agitated when I see him, and he's always saying something. Now he opened up supposedly free daycare for everybody, which they had free pre-K. It's like, oh, the video's ready. Okay,
Leaning
we're
centers for everyone.
Luring centers. That's
Yeah.
probably,
Yeah,
it's going to
yeah.
probably be a money laundering thing. That's what I think.
Oh,
So we
it
have
will
a
be.
video queued up. We're going to get ready for number 2 of Mark White's picks.
I don't care what Trump says about trans and queer people. I don't care what he said about women's hockey players. I don't care about the AI slop cartoon bullshit that he made about the Obamas. What I do care about is dragging him into the street, kicking and screaming, putting his head in a guillotine, and watching that thing pop off. Thank you.
Oh my God.
Party of
that's
peace and love. Eh.
The Party of Peace and Love. I actually didn't watch a lot of the clips, so I'm seeing them for the first time here. But again, the fact that they have signs and they're marching for a dictator who literally killed so many people, and then the violence and the rhetoric, and then somebody like Charlie Kirk, they have an issue with him who was using his words, and they call him a Nazi, a fascist, all the different things that they call Charlie Kirk, which should go to other people. It's like they have
It's
everything
a reversal.
backwards.
Total reversal.
Yes.
Exactly.
It's like Bizarro World from Seinfeld.
And if you ask that
Yes.
young lady, in that video, one word, why? She couldn't answer it. Because.
You know
why? Because you know why. Why is he a fascist? He's not a Mussolini. Why is he? Well, he's a Nazi. Well, he's not like Hitler. Why is? And then if they do, they give this long, drawn out thing. Learn your history. Know your history. Okay, what that was about. He is not a fascist. He is not a Nazi. He is trying to fix this country. And what happens is a lot of people are content. See, a lot of people I've noticed, I was thinking about this the other day, they're content. We have, like Joe Biden, you hardly saw him. You didn't know he was there. Jill was running everything. And everybody was like, well, it's content. Because people are used to being content. They're not used to things getting done. And under Biden or Democratic, you hardly saw them, and they were content. They didn't have to listen to the news. They didn't have to turn on CNN. They didn't have to listen to Fox. They didn't have to pick up the internet or listen a paper every day. With Trump is doing things in a business sense at the speed of business, and people can't handle that.
Well, I actually, on my Facebook page, I shared a meme. The right loves to meme. And it was Joe Biden, and he said that the next Ayatollah has to be a woman of color.
Yeah.
And I thought that basically sums up perfectly what that administration did. And he himself, Biden and Harris, both said in the Iran issue, they said to Iran, don't. That's it. And they had a line, and they said, don't. And Iran went beep, 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 crossed the line. And, nothing. So it's just like little kids. Like if you tell a little kid it's having a tantrum, if you keep doing that, these are the consequences. And then the kid does it and you don't have any consequences. What do you think the kid's going to learn?
Yeah.
So Iran is basically, they knew that they had nobody was stopping them, and it was a go for them. So,
not only that, they send them pallets of cash, which was from from the Obama administration. And on my other show, I was talking to my host, and I asked them, I go, we should send, we made a deal to send them that money. Really? To send it to them? Basically, their approach in the Biden and Harris administration was to use diplomacy on the Iran nuclear deal, with simultaneously attempting to curb their regional influence. However, the Heritage Foundation argued that the policies were ineffective, claiming the administration's actions, actually as reported by Senator John.
What does that mean in English?
What's that?
What you're summarizing there, just.
Oh, okay. Basically, they did nothing. It didn't
There
do
you go.
nothing. You're working with a terrorist regime that could not be reasoned with. We gave them pallets of cash, and what they did is they used it for weapons.
It's easy to kill Americans
Yes.
is what they did.
Yeah. So for them to even comment about that is embarrassing for them.
And you go back to Jimmy Carter, with the hostage situation, I mean, I was a little kid, but I remember he basically was so weak. And again, the whole thing with Trump is peace through strength. And the Democrats just don't understand that concept, that it's kind of like having a father figure in the room, that a father is the one, like, you wait till your father gets home, and if you don't have that father figure, then the kids go wild and crazy. And I'm kind of like simplifying the analogy, but that's how I feel
That's
about
exactly
it.
why they returned the hostages as soon as Reagan got in.
Yeah, because he
As
knew the
his
jig was
hand
up.
went,
and he
as
knew that it was
Reagan's
gonna-
hand went on the Bible, I might add. They
Yeah,
were loading
pretty
them on
much.
a plane.
Yep.
1979.
Yeah, yeah.
After that, what did Carter try and do in the helicopter disaster?
The ones that he crashed in the
Yeah.
desert and killed Americans?
Yes, yes. And
Well-
nobody complained about American lives during that as well.
Well, Carter, for years, was the worst president in history, and now
Well, he's
the
relieved
award
of that.
has been given over definitely to Biden. Biden by far, because Carter, I think, was just incompetent and weak, but Biden, under his administration, literally was sabotaging us, brought people in from terrorist or countries that hate us, and basically is sabotaging us, the enemy from within. So we are going to be back after this next segment. Stay tuned, and we'll see you soon.
You've worked hard and saved, but inflation and increased money supply are eroding your buying power. Protect and grow your wealth with physical gold and silver. Sound Money. With a Sound Money wallet, your wealth stays in your control. Buy fractionally, vault securely, ship directly, and instantly liquidate your gold and silver at the highest buyback price in the industry. Real money, real ownership. Visit tafwsoundmoney.info or scan the QR code and start securing your financial future today.
The America First Ultra MAGA Store. For all your MAGA needs. We sell t-shirts, tumblers, flags, hats, sneakers, bumper stickers, and a whole lot more. The most patriotic America First retail store. The America First Ultra MAGA Store.
Live from Studio 6B on a Friday night, live at the America First Warehouse. Live at the America First Warehouse on a Friday, Real America's Voice, all across the country, 103.9 LI News Radio, all across your radio, Suffolk County, Long Island. Glad you're in.
Corporate transfer. Fine professional, moving and storage, and inventory management.
America First Warehouse was really the most patriotic venue that you can ever imagine. We wanted to build something for people to be able to come to and feel so comfortable and so relaxed, because there is nothing out there like it. We give an opportunity for people to really feel good about themselves and about this great country.
To Red, White, and True at the America First Warehouse, where we're live. Our special guest today is Lou Pratz. He's a Long Island comedian, and Lou actually was a court officer in Nassau County and he's recently retired, and he's seen a lot of things. So I'm going to have Lou tell us anything you want.
Well, just to go back to Bonnie's statement about unions, she said her union sold her out, which is true. It seems like a lot of our union sold us out pretty much, and everyone who was in charge, there's one person who didn't, but every person that was in charge of our union got a job in the Court Office Association up in Beaver Street, OCA, the Court Administration Office, and a promotion. And usually you get moved up taking tests. There was people that jumped from like court officer to a deputy chief clerk because they sold our union out.
How did they sell the union out?
As far as raises, as far as contracts, as far as, stuff like that, they pretty much forced stuff down. There was no good faith negotiations from what I gathered.
Right.
You
And they
know?
would just tell you this is what we're going to sign off on. Was
Right.
there any pushback from the court officers on that? Or they said, look,
Oh,
this is what-
always. But we really, I say it, but even if we brought it to court, it seems like it was in favor of the court administration because we're trying to sue the court in court. So
Yeah, right.
What kind of
And
chance do we have?
Who are they going to have as court officers? You're all there.
Absolutely, absolutely. But we're going to ask to bring up asset 3 from Mark White, and it's ready. So let's go to the third one.
Before the end of Black History Month, I have a request. Can we please stop calling the biggest room in the house the master's bedroom, the master suite? Can we call it the suite, the owner's suite? Can we just let go of the whole master bedroom, master suite concept, vocab? Just get rid of it altogether.
Okay, so that's the war on words that everything is racist as far as that goes. So Mark, you actually picked this video. Could you tell us why you picked it?
Because that's ridiculous.
So you don't mind if we call the house in the room, that's where the person that owns the house usually gets the
I
best.
grew up with Richard Pryor and Red Fox and Lenny Bruce, so I'm not offended by words. I mean, people were, we were offensive back in the day, but that's not the reason. One of the reasons I posted, I was thinking, what were you thinking when you were? Did you actually think this makes sense to you? She can't figure out that nobody cares about that. Nobody's actually going to listen to you. And how did you even come up with that? Most of the time, these people come up with this because there's somebody in the news or somebody like that who's just telling them, well, this is offensive. Because remember, if any of you people have read 1984, the whole concept, and one of the concepts in that book is to change the meaning of words and to get rid of words. And that's what the left is so busy doing. And it's amazing to me that the people on the left do not understand that they're actually on the wrong side of history. How can you not see that?
Yeah, and also with it being called the master bedroom. For anybody that bought a house, that had to go through financing, that had to go through underwriting, that had to go through a closing, that have to pay high taxes, and also the principal, I'm the master. And that's my bedroom. It's the master bedroom. There's a bathroom right off the side of it. I can get right into the John in the middle of the night in 10 seconds. I'm the master. And if you're renting, you pay a high rent, and you struggle to pay that rent. If I need to run into the kitchen from that bedroom and get back, it's the master. I am the master. I sound like freaking. I'm the master. No, that's what I am. I'm the master. This has Jackie Gleason, but it's true. And to make it sound like, well, it's back of old times, antebellum times. It's 2026. Get a grip.
Well, again, being offended by language and making, I think it was back in the very beginning of the woke movement when they were calling people who were moms and giving birth, they were calling them birthing persons. You weren't allowed to say that the woman was pregnant. You had to, they didn't want you to identify her gender. It was so insane. I like you, Mark, never succumbed to this BS. That's my initial.
It has to be so exhausting to get offended by every word.
One at a time.
Sorry.
Go ahead, Mark.
Go ahead, Mark.
No, the other thing is, the word bum is, when you were homeless back in the day. So we changed it to homeless. So what we're doing is kind of watering down all these things that
they're housing
challenged. The wording has changed. And so now it doesn't seem so bad. But basically, you know, a lot of these homeless people they're just bums. I talked to them when I was in New York City, and none of them wanted a job. None of them wanted an apartment. They just wanted to live in the street and get high. That's a bum.
Yeah. So Lou, you were saying something about
No, just how
the war on
exhausting it
words?
must be to be offended by every word and fight everyone on everything that everyone says. Like, you just put on earmuffs and go through life not talking to anyone, and you'll be fine. But unreal.
Well, you know, I did a bit on context of the words, and I brought up a couple of words. One of the words was the word retard, and in the context of special needs kids, that word is mean, hurtful, despicable, and wrong in that context. However, if you're 35 and living in your parents' basement and going to Comic-Con dressed as Frodo, you're a retard. Okay? And when I first started doing that joke, somebody was upset. I go, "Did you not hear the preamble explaining that? Did you not
They
hear
don't hear
the
that part.
differentiation of that?"
And Patriot Box, did you want to say something?
Yes. If you recall the rebuttal from the Democrats after last week's State of the Union address, Abigail Dumpkins, I forget what her real name is. When we talked about this, about playing with words, massaging words, changing words to mean different things. She calls illegal aliens. Illegal aliens are aspiring Americans.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, can you, and then I go into the thing about sensible gun laws, which we have a Second Amendment that protects our rights, but sensible gun laws to the Dems mean banning the guns. But they play with words, they play with language, and this, by the way, if you study Marxism and communism, it's right out of the playbook.
I love when they say illegal. They're not illegal because they didn't break the law. Because they think that coming across the border is a civil violation, and it's not. If you overstay a visa, it's a civil violation. But if you cross the border and don't check in at any place you're supposed to come in, that's a crime. It's a misdemeanor.
Absolutely. And you know, I always ask people, why is this generation of people getting a pass? Where people that have come here in, you know, a decade, centuries prior had to go through a process and earn their place. But, you know, you come in, oh, well, you know, he's a birther, he's the, no, you're here illegally. You didn't go through the proper channels. And we have friends that became American citizens that went it the right way. And I'm sure that they're not pleased that people are just coming in and getting a free pass. And once again, it's because the Democratic Party wants to build a future base, and they want to use this, along with gerrymandering, and they want to use this to have the votes. They don't care about these people. They could care less. What they're looking is to build their base for the future. And you call them out. No, that's not. No, it is. It obviously is.
Well, Patriot Box always quotes Chuck Schumer, so I will let Patriot Box tell you exactly what he said into the camera, so we know that that's what their agenda is. Patriot Box?
Well, actually, I heard this today. Chuck Schumer, they caught him on an escalator, sort of, you know, not a formal thing. They just grabbed him, and he misspoke.
Well, this is a separate thing that happened today.
This happened today.
But the other thing that he did say in the past was, we are going to give the illegals a path to citizenship.
A pathway to citizenship.
And that's been
You mean
their agenda.
the aspiring
entire time.
Americans.
The aspiring Americans.
A
Because
pathway to
the
citizenship.
people who are usually their voter base are waking up and are not supporting them. So they basically brought in a whole new set of voters and gave them free everything. And in exchange, you vote for us, and we keep the cycle going. And that's very dangerous. And Patriot Box, get back to what you heard Chuck Schumer say yesterday.
He said it today.
Today.
And he misspoke. He was asked a question, and he was giving one of his typical rants, saying, "Well, we don't want to have a nuclear Israel. We don't want to have a nuclear war. We don't want to have a nuclear Israel." And the difference that the press did for Schumer is when they realized he misspoke, they sort of gave him a do-over. He meant to say, we don't want to have a nuclear-armed Iran, but because he misspoke and said Israel, hey, let's take that shot out. Let's reshoot that because it doesn't. You missed the narrative point. You made a mistake.
They did the same thing with Kamala Harris.
Yes. The only time they didn't was when it was live, and that was the best. It was it was Brett was the
Brett Hume.
Brett Hume, and they said, "Is there anything you would do differently?"
I wouldn't do a thing.
That Biden, and she goes, "I can't think of a thing," and that basically, in my opinion, is like was the nail on her coffin. But all the other interviews
She couldn't think of a thing,
that were
period.
pre-taped, all the ones that were pre-taped, they cut and spliced and made her look as good as she could look, even with her word salads. So the bias of the press has been ongoing since
Project
Trump,
Mockingbird.
since Trump entered the race in 2016.
And when you talk about cutting and pasting and editing, even with recently, you could look into this Marco Rubio, they took what he said and they cut it and hacked it. And what's good is that he called them out. He called the press out on it. He said, don't take my statements and cut and paste them. Use my entire statement. But again, the left is doing everything they can, again, with language and with taking stories and presenting them in a way that has nothing to do with reality or the truth of facts.
Right.
That's why I love the State of the Union. There's no way they could cover that up. That was live, and Trump walked them into a trap, and they wouldn't stand for anyone. They wouldn't. They really showed how despicable they are.
Absolutely.
Lou, are you referring to the fact that when Trump asked them to stand...
10 seconds.
That the job of government is to take care of Americans first?
Exactly.
And we will be back in the next segment and let Patriot Box finish his thought. Thank you.
You noticed your money just doesn't stretch like it used to? Your paycheck feels lighter, and your savings aren't growing. The culprits? Inflation and increased money supply. They've both been quietly eating away at your purchasing power for years. Today, the dollar's value has dropped significantly. You feel it every time you spend money on goods and services. Back in 1965, $1 or an ounce of silver could buy you a gallon of milk. Fast forward to today. That same dollar barely buys a couple of coffee creamers, while an ounce of silver would get you 8 gallons of milk. Gold and silver have held their value for centuries. If you had 2,500 ounces of silver back in 1965, you could buy a brand new Ford Mustang. Today, 2,500 ounces of silver would buy you 2 Mustangs. Similarly, in the year 2000, 628 ounces of gold would buy a new $170,000 home. Today, 628 ounces would buy you a $2,500,000 home. The problem? 95% of Americans don't own physical gold or silver. They think it's too complicated and too expensive, but it doesn't have to be. We offer a membership program that allows you to buy gold or silver with as little as $1. You can buy fractional amounts, safely vault them, or have them delivered to your doorstep. And you can liquidate them whenever you want at the highest buyback price in the industry. Ready to protect your wealth and keep your purchasing power? Scan the QR code or go to tafw.soundmoney.com to learn more.
If the vote count is accurate, then how come the number of voters is different? And if it's not accurate, then why was it certified? We are suing Letitia James and the New York State Board of Elections for a conspiracy against fundamental rights. This is not about who won. It's not about what party. It's about the fact that they don't care about your rights.
All right, live from Studio 6B on a Friday night, live at the America First Warehouse. Live at the America First Warehouse on a Friday, Real America's Voice, all across the country, 103.9 LI News Radio, all across your radio, Suffolk County, Long Island.
It's me, Joe the Box, and I'm John the Blanket with the America First Podcast.
That's what I'm talking about. The Fred Rubino Podcast coming to you from the America First Warehouse.
Welcome back to the America First Warehouse. What we're still doing? Fighting! Every day, all day long.
Welcome to the Patriots Podcast. Good evening, everyone.
Hey, everybody. Welcome back to the On the Right Side podcast here at the America First Warehouse in Long Island, New York.
Shane Jenkins here with another episode of Liberty's Cage.
Hi, everyone, and welcome to our podcast, Red, Right, and True.
We are streaming live on America First Media and Television app.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, Kevin Downey Jr. podcast. Be free, stay free.
Red, White, and True at the America First Warehouse, where we're live here today with Lou Pratt, Long Island comedian. And on the break, we were talking about We were talking about a lot of things.
The State of the Union. The State of the Union.
The State of the Union. What Lou was saying is how I believe he was saying that he liked the fact that basically our president got up and spoke and was able to say what he wanted without it being misinterpreted and played with, and basically almost unedited, except for that Ilhan Omar, who was basically heckling him. They wouldn't put up with that in a comedy club. Why they would allow a member of Congress to do that, still not sure. But anyway, that's what we were talking about, and I'm going to turn it over to Lou and have him run with that thought.
Well, yeah, I was saying how he set him up in a trap, saying, do you believe, stand up if you believe that the job of government is to protect its citizens above illegal aliens, and none of them stood. And I put something on Facebook because I thought that was horrible, that they wouldn't even stand. And Democrats came at me trying to justify what they did. And like Mark was one of the first guys to defend me in that. I don't know if you remember.
Yeah.
I remember.
Yeah, I mean, basically, we were just talking about, Lou said, well, how can they, I think it was Lou, somebody just said, how could they misinterpret something that they can't cut and paste? This was live, and they did. And many of the people that Lou had on, I couldn't see their side of the conversation that were against it because I've already blocked them. He has a lot more patience than I. But what were their arguments that why did the Democrats not stand up when your allegiance should be to Americans first, American citizens first?
They
What
didn't
did they
have.
possibly
They
say?
didn't have an answer to it. What they kept going back to, well, what about when Trump did this, or what
Trump
about
bad.
when someone
Trump
did
bad.
that? And
Well,
I
what
swear to
what
God.
Trump did? What?
There was so many. It was like 115, 20 comments, and there's one woman. She's like, I think you're in a cult. And, I think that, you're defending the wrong person. And Democrat, Biden was a great president. I was like, will you shut up, Mom?
So when you guys can you bring up Asset 4? And we're going to have
Just
the
did
last
that.
video of Mark White's picks for the week. And I'm sorry, I didn't hear that. We can play it. Okay, let's see the last video.
It's gonna really suck for the red hats.
Oh, yeah.
When the shoe is on the other foot and people start going door to door asking if they voted for Trump in the last round or if they still support MAGA. Oh, I'm sorry. Did that make you feel threatened? You think social punishment ain't a thing? You think everybody's ready to do all this again another 40, 50 years or however long it takes them? If you guys were to use any critical thinking skills and take a look around for 2 seconds, you would realize that numbers-wise, y'all are screwed. It wouldn't matter how much firepower y'all had. It would not matter how much you guys tried to... I mean, January 6th was a prime example of how crappy everything is and falling apart. Oh, that was just a test run. Yeah, the test run looked like shit. Your leaders couldn't even cover for their own ass correctly. The way they redacted those files... Makes sense, though. Y'all just love the patriarchy, and we all know how common weaponized incompetence is within patriarchy. How does it feel to know that the head orange toad basically has to be cleaned up after every about 10 minutes from just shitting himself constantly? That's not true. Look it up. I dare ya. But we all know you're not going to do that because you're too scared. You guys are chicken shits. You guys won't research anything because you guys know you're going to find answers you're not going to like.
So let me address that.
Go ahead, Mark.
You remember in the Matrix when Neo and Trinity were all badass and they could kick everybody's butt?
Mm-hmm.
And then when they came out of the Matrix, they were running for their lives when they were in the real world. That's what we're dealing with right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the thing about it is look at your facts. Look at all it. There's all the facts you need right here that I have and I research and I look up. And also when she says, well, when the Democrats knock on doors of the Trump supporters, what are you all going to say? Well, here's the deal that you don't understand. Several years ago, when she dated me, she was a Republican. I'm surprised she went, but she was actually.
Oh, I thought you were talking about the woman on the video.
No.
I thought you were making a joke.
Just as
okay,
crazy.
sorry. Let's make
Just as crazy. But she was canvassing for the Democratic Party. The people that run the canvassing give you a list of Democratic people only to knock on doors. They don't want you to go to any Republican or conservative house because they know it's a waste of time. So for this woman to insinuate that they're knocking on every door, no, the party only wants you to knock on registered Democrat doors.
No. I think what the video was basically saying, the way I interpreted it, maybe to me that was a threat that when Trump
Exactly,
is out
that was
of
a threat.
office, that they're going to come around and find who the Trump supporters are and that either embarrass them socially. It was implied physically, socially. We were going to be targeted. That's how Mark, am I wrong?
No, you're right. That's why I was talking. That's why I gave the analogy of the Matrix, because everybody's all, they're all tough on their Instagram and their Twitters and their TikToks, but if you knocked on a real person's door and tried to drag them out, she would be unconscious. We all know that.
Of course, because we all have guns. They don't.
Straight.
But it's just crazy where they complain about violence and are the ones that proliferate violence more than anybody else. The way that they come down on all the protesters, they come down on all these other groups. I can't find the one name I'm looking for, but Antifa, and they do not. Antifa gets a pass, and I got an argument one time, and it's like, well, Antifa is a radical organization, and the person that was on my show says, well, name a leader. And I go, there's not one leader because they come in packs. Well, they're not because they don't have a leader. So this whole thing that Antifa is not a radical group, where the Proud Boys always, they're radicals and they're not. But Antifa gets a pass. It's also the hypocrisy that they have.
I have a question that I don't know the answer to. So she put that on social media. To me, that is a threat. Are you allowed to threaten people on public airways?
It depends if you're a Democrat or a Republican.
Yeah.
If you're a Dem, it's okay. If you're a Republican or take a right-wing side or even a moderate side, you get shadow banned at the very least and threaten to lose your account.
And I will give an example of that on October 6th. Basically, I have a friend that was in the FBI, and basically on October 6th, FBI agents in the field office will make a recommendation to Quantico to look into something. They've always done that, except when it came to October 6th, January 6th, where Quantico was going to the field offices for the first time ever and saying, you need to look into this person. So for that simple reason, they weaponized the FBI to round up these people that were actually for the most part peacefully protesting.
Yeah, and the last part that we're probably not going to have a chance to cover the whole.
Changed.
Yeah.
Say that again, Lou?
Peaceful protest. The definition changed with that.
Oh, absolutely.
Mostly peaceful protest.
Mostly peaceful protest.
As the city burns. Love the way that smells.
But January 6th was that was like Pearl Harbor, they say.
Yeah, it was Pearl Harbor, and cops got killed. No police officer died that day. No police officer died that day. They all died. They all suffered things days after, weeks after. One committed suicide, regretfully. One person that got killed was somebody that was a veteran, and they shot her through. The policeman shot her through a door, and they gloss over that.
Again, as Patriot Box says, there's one rules for them and another one for conservatives. But I want to thank Mark White for picking the videos. He's going to be with us every podcast. Thank you, Mark White. We want to thank our guest, Lou Prats. And Joe is on Patriot Box. Unless you have something quick to say, Joe is going to
say something really quick.
Yes.
The Dems are always acting like they're concerned about people, caring about people. Well, 30,000 people were slaughtered in the last few weeks, and they don't seem to care about that. Think about it.
They don't seem to care because it doesn't match their narrative. The narrative that they've been drilled into, the narrative that during the State of the Union address, they sat there and were shamed. It is so telling on how they don't like this country, how they don't respect this country, how they don't stand for this country. It's a shame. And I hope people, and we will bring it up during the midterms on these are the people you want to vote for. It's absolutely shameful.
And you can't be afraid to speak up because of these bullies. the bully like the one in the last video that Mark showed us, the bullies on Facebook. If everybody speaks up, then these people are keyboard warriors. They will back away. And if they don't, you block them. But don't let them silence you. And Joe, you wanted to
Yes, I am.
let us tell...
On this show, I'm serious, and I'm to the point. But this weekend at the Brokerage Comedy Club, I'm going to be all sorts of funny and silly. That's right. Saturday, March 7th and 8th, I'll be at the Brokerage Comedy Club in Belmore, New York. Join us. I'll be with my buddy Johnny Watson. Call 516-781-5233 for reservations, or go to brokerage.govs.com for information. Also, we'd like to thank some people. Obviously, the America First Warehouse, the venue in the production studio, the home for America First Media and Television. Check us on out, theamericafirstwarehouse.com, and check out the events. We'll be on there with all the other wonderful shows. Also, we'd like to thank some other folks. We'd like to thank TAFW Sound Money Wallet at tafsoundmoney.com. Also, My Patriot Travel at mypatriottravel.com/TAFW. My Pillow, very comfortable pillow. MyPillow.com. Or call 1-800-889-2067. Tallow Honey Gold, Maha Gold, TallowHoneyGold.com/TAFW. Download the America First Media and Television app, available at the App Store and Google Play Store, and go to afshows.com. Also, please support our buddy John Riccatoni. He was with us several weeks ago.
Yes.
Go to his Facebook page and please support him. And folks, it was a wonderful show. Thank you for joining us. We will see you next Wednesday on Red, Right, and True.
Thank you,
Good
Mark
night.
and Blue.
Thanks.
A beacon for all to see, a symbol of hope, a symbol of unity. For the patriots of America, we stand tall and free in the America First Warehouse, where our hearts will always be. The America First Warehouse, a beacon for all to see, a symbol of hope, a symbol of unity. For the patriots of America, we stand tall and free.